Hello everybody and welcome back to Immediate Meteorology. It's been a while since I made an upload. In fact, my most recent upload besides this one was all the way back in August of 2020. So it's been a while. I hope to bring these weather videos back. I'm not sure on an upload schedule at the time due to school. I'm going to try to upload at least once on the weekend, and maybe if I can squeeze in one in the middle of the week, I maybe will go ahead and try to do that. But for this specific video, we are going to be discussing preliminary spring forecast for 2021. I know it's still over a month until spring really starts, but I just wanted to give a little precaution, I guess you could say, before the actual season starts. So let's get right in. So here we have the temperature forecast. It's still very far ahead, so this is most likely going to change, especially the areas it's in and how much there is. So for instance, the above average has regular and moderate, and it could even change to just regular. We're not really sure, but there's still a possibility. So here we have the above average temperature region. It's mostly for the south, some portions of the southeast there, including Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, and Georgia as well. And then places like the south central U.S. and the southwest U.S., including New Mexico, Texas, Arizona, Oklahoma, Arkansas, as well as Louisiana. And then we also have a moderately below, above average region for temperature. And it's mostly for the southern half, I guess you could say, of Texas, but also for quite a bit of Louisiana and southeastern New Mexico. You could see quite above average temperatures. Now I know that area, yes, it is south. They will see hot temperatures, but it could be more than you usually see. I know you guys sometimes may see 90s to even up to 100 down there, but it's very this could be even more than that. I'm not saying it will be, but there's definitely a chance. But it's only by, I don't know, 3 or 4 degrees maybe. And then same goes with the more yellow region. You guys could have above average from like 2-3 degrees. Not too major, but still above average. Now we can go ahead and head to the below average region up here. That stretches for most of the states that really border Canada up here, if you know what I mean. So we have Washington State, all of Washington State, most of Oregon, northern Idaho, most of Montana, as well as South Dakota, and North Dakota, and Wisconsin. We also have the northwestern part of Michigan in there, as well as the northern half of Minnesota. You guys could see a bit of below average temperatures, nothing too major, maybe 3 or 4, 5 degrees below average, especially for places like Washington State and northern Idaho and Oregon. I'll get onto why later, but that's where you guys have your below average temperatures. Now we will head on to the precipitation forecast as we usually do. So here is our precipitation forecast. You can see here that we have the below average region, also for much of the south and southwest. For instance, places like California, New Mexico, Arizona, and Texas, and as well as southern Colorado, Utah, even a bit of Nevada there, and also Southern California. And then as we go more off to the east, we have Southern Kansas, as well as almost all of Oklahoma and all of Texas. So you guys will see some below average dry weather there during these spring months. especially for you in the darker brown regions. I know you guys are mostly desert, so it's not very surprising, but it can still be below average than what you already get. So places like southeastern New Mexico, southeastern Arizona, southern New Mexico, as well as western Texas. You guys could see moderately below average precipitation, very dry weather there. And once again, this is still a bit far ahead on what we can really say, but for what we have now, this is what we can determine from that. So next we have our above average precipitation region. We have it starting over here on the eastern side of the United States in the Ohio Valley, portions of Kentucky, West Virginia, even a bit of Tennessee and regular Virginia there. And then we have Indiana, Michigan, Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota, a little bit of South Dakota, North Dakota, Montana, northern Idaho, as well as most of Oregon and all of Washington. Starting over on this portion, it's sort of a dip right here in the in our above average precipitation region, stretching all the way down to portions of northeastern Tennessee and northwestern North Carolina. And then we have it stretching off back towards the west coast, and it's sort of in the same region that the below average temperature region was in. So the below average temperature region was around, I'm pretty, somewhere around here, something like that. So you can see the below average temperature region is in awfully the same sector, I guess you could say, of the above average precipitation. Not too much to say about it. A lot of areas around here usually get above average precipitation, especially these portions during spring. And so yeah, that's all the information we have now for above average. And now we are going to head on to the overall forecast for the spring preliminary forecast. Alright, so here is our overall forecast map. It's not too crazy like other forecast maps, for instance, for times like winter, but we'll just go ahead and jump right in and I'll explain each region. Starting on the west coast, here we have warmer and wetter. As you saw earlier in the above average precipitation region, it was covering most of this area, and not so much the above average temperature region, but I still think it could be pretty warm. There's not too much to say about it. They still do get pretty wet conditions around spring, especially for the Pacific Northwest. So there's not too much to say about that. Here in the next region, we have not much so hot, but definitely warm and dry conditions. This portion is mostly in both the above average precipitation and below average precipitation and above average temperature. So they could definitely have some dry and warmer than normal conditions. Especially for the Four Corner states, southern and southwestern Texas, as well as Utah, Colorado, Nevada, and California. They usually do see warm and dry weather during these spring times. They could get some sprinkles of rain here and there with other systems moving through, but that's my conclusion for now. Next, we have the SW region. SW, if you haven't figured it out, stands for severe weather. This is our severe weather region for the spring months, currently at least. And this is for really the general area. We see a lot of the severe weather for portions of the southern and central plains and portions of the southeast. Last year we had that major Easter outbreak. That was when I made my very first video on this channel. And it was around, the Easter outbreak was mainly in this region right here. There were some tornadoes in places like North Carolina, Southern Virginia, but most of it was in this portion right here. Next, well, actually, I'll continue talking about this. This is also where we can see most tornadoes. Um, Spring is really the prime time for tornadoes, especially for the plains and southeast during tornado season, and especially for, like I said, southeast slash Dixie Alley, which is just down here, and Tornado Alley, which is in this area right here. Now we will go ahead and stop talking about that and go ahead and move on to this region, the stormy region, for much of the southeast, and I guess you could say all of it really. We have Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, a little portion of Mississippi, not Mississippi, Missouri, roughly the southern half of Tennessee, a bit of North Carolina, and much of South Carolina. You guys could also see storms, but they may not be severe or as severe. You could still see severe storms. I won't be surprised if there will be a lot of severe storms, especially tornadoes for Dixie Alley, like I said in this portion right here. Our next region we have is the cool start region, mainly in the mid-Atlantic and stretching a bit farther west. What the models are saying and what I am predicting is that the start of March to the start of April will be a bit cooler because in meteorological spring starts on the first day of March instead of the end of March, I believe. And so when I say cool start, most of it will be for portions like, not portions, months like March. There's not too much else to say about this region. There could be still be some warmer, hotter days. That's definitely for sure. But at the beginning, it may be cooler in the maybe 50s and 60s. Now for much of the northeast we have the mild region. Nothing severe, no severe conditions. I wouldn't say it's going to be really hot. I also wouldn't say it's going to be really cold. You could get rain here and there. I think it'll be pretty nice up there for what I'm seeing. So we'll still have to look out because any of this could change. But this is my forecast for now. Next we have almost the biggest region so far, actually not so far, in the whole map, it's the biggest region. We have the mix of all. Currently, I can't really determine what we're going to really have in these areas. It could be cool at times. There could be severe weather, definitely for the plains. It could be hot, it could be stormy, really anything. But by time at the end of February, when I create my final forecast, it'll most likely have its own opinions on, and we'll see how that's going to turn out. Our final region is this gray region that says MS. MS stands for mountain snow, especially there for the Rockies. They usually get snow until late April, so they still have a while until their snow season, I guess you could say, is finished. So yeah, for early to mid-spring, they will most likely have some mountain snow until around late April. And that should do it for the forecast. I thank you all for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss a video. This is my first video back. I hope to make videos on the weekends and possibly squeeze some into the school week, as well as some videos on my other channel. That other channel's link will be in the description below. The channel's name is Aviator Night. If you haven't seen it already, I suggest you go check it out. And with that said, I thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.